Short answer? No. Video's over. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Dogecoin. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos. Alright, so, no. So this is a problem that seems to plague a lot of people I discuss movies and games with. Not so much books, though. That's not because they're the master media. There are reasons, but they aren't what we're talking about. The problem is, as the title implies, is people who try to make excuses for plot holes. They'll say, they're not that big a deal. Movies are about emotions. Or they'll try to make excuses. For those who don't know, a plot hole is a gap or inconsistency in a storyline that goes against the flow of logic established by the story's plot, or constitutes a blatant omission of relevant information regarding the plot, sometimes even contradicting itself. These include such things as unlikely behavior or actions by characters, illogical or impossible events, events happening for no apparent reason, or statements or events that contradict earlier events in a storyline. Let's think about this for a minute. If plot holes aren't bad, then no effort will be made to exclude them. If no effort's made to exclude them, then clarity is an impossibility. But it doesn't matter that the protagonist keeps changing motivations for no reason, it's just a movie. Yeah, you're right, why would we ever want a character to act consistently in a work of fiction? It's not like they're supposed to be believable. I like when my characters change accent, name, race, and gender for no reason throughout the entire movie. Also how they feel about certain things, who they're friends with, and what they're trying to accomplish. None of it matters, it's just a movie after all. But it's a movie, it's not supposed to be realistic. Real life doesn't have superpowers or starships. You can't expect reality from movies. Well, we're not talking about what's realistic, are we? We're talking about what makes sense. Each universe has its own rules, characters, and exposition. Once it's established, if something doesn't jive or doesn't make sense within the context of that universe, you have a plot hole. Plot holes are bad. Going back to spaceships, yes, we don't have spaceships in real life, but these people do. If a spaceship were to suddenly turn into a transformer, where previously it didn't and it would have helped the people on the ship, that's a plot hole. If people can speak in the vacuum of space, that's a plot hole. It's unrealistic even within a fantastic environment. Fantastic environments don't change everything about reality. They change certain things and then compose a narrative that is believable with those events that are changed. This is called suspension of disbelief, and if you'd like to learn more about it, here's a video by Mr. Big Tongue. This really is a simple concept, people. If characters are the root of a story, they aren't allowed to change without conflict. See my video here for more on that. But things like starships are also characters, or at least are indicative of characters. What this means is that somebody had to build them. It also means that someone had to build them for a purpose. This massive spaceship was built for a variety of reasons. For one, the people who built it had the resources, meaning they somehow have access to a lot of resources. They also built it to wage war against who? The rebels, which obviously has its own implications. Because it's so much bigger than the rebel ship, we know comparatively how much smaller and less equipped the rebels are. As such, it means that the characters must remain consistent. We shouldn't be having a hippie drum circle in what should be the general's war room. There are, of course, less obvious ones that are pointed out by people like myself, Smudboy, Red Letter Media, Your Movie Sucks, CinemaSins, and plenty of other people on the internet and in the world. These criticisms should be drawn from an understanding of the work as a whole, not through things like headcanon, which oh so many people seem to do. I see this just all the time. You just didn't get it. It was too complicated for you. You just didn't play the whole way through, or they'll bring up some inconsistency that did occur whilst ignoring the other various inconsistencies. The bottom line is that an inconsistency is an inconsistency whether you like it or not. And as I've said in previous videos, it doesn't deprive the inconsistent event of value entirely as some people seem to think. But it is a flaw and should be recognized as such. How big a flaw it is depends on how crucial a given characteristic was to a given character. And if you have to contrive a scene in order for an important theme to occur, you're bad at writing. That's about all I would like to say on the matter without sounding like I'd be repeating myself. Check out my other videos if you're interested in the subject matter and or how it applies to movies and games.